Well, I'm probably going down another rabbit hole here. I'm just taking a wild guess. We'll see. Hi guys, welcome to Lee Reacts. Hope everyone's having a good day. I know I am. We are back with the band Kraftwerk. They are from Germany. This is an album that was released in 1977. I believe it's Trans Europe Express. It is there's a single version, there's an album version from the album. We're doing the 6-minute album cut. This is a Patreon request from our patron William. Thank you for your support, William. I truly appreciate you. This is the band that's been brought up a few times on the channel. They are, I guess, are considered electronic music. It says synth pop and electronic, and what was the other one? Oh yeah, avant-garde. That's a hell of a mix for 1977. So you already had me there. This is probably pretty foundational stuff, I'm guessing, for that genre then, if it's that early. I read something interesting before we start. Apparently, because of World War II, they said that they didn't really have much of a culture after the war, obviously because they were decimated inside and outside after that conflict. So I guess they said that they had German folk songs from like the early 1900s, early 20th century, and they started there with their music, and then they, I guess, turned it into this. So this album is apparently a sonic poem to Europe. There you go. There's your tidbit. All right. Trans Europe Express by Kraftwerk. 3, 2, 1, go. That is sick. That is wild, bro.
Rendezvous on Champs-Élysées. Leave Paris in the morning with TEE. Trans Europe Express. Trans Europe Express. Trans Europe Express. Trans Europe Express. In a late night cafe, straight connection, TEE. Trans Europe Express. Trans Europe Express.
That's a tight beat, bro.
Trans Europe Express. Trans Europe Express.
just so ahead of its time, it's not even funny. I bet y'all heard this when it came out, you're like... That is so cool. Oh my god. It's very minimal too. Wow. The fidelity is crazy.
Station to station, back to Düsseldorf City.
Station to station.
Meet Iggy Pop and David Bowie. Trans Europe Express.
That's funny, bro. I knew it.
Trans Europe Express. Trans Europe Express.
The song goes so hard, bro. It really does.
Europe Express.
Bring it back. I'm guessing the world was never the same after this came out. Oh no, it just ends like that. That's not fair. Well, William, that was excellent. I was not expecting... Well, I kind of was, but I didn't think that song would be that prescient and that genre defining, because that is got a lot of the staples and hallmarks of a lot of stuff that comes later down the road. You know, it almost feels like it's a sampled beat when it's not, though. They obviously made it, but the way that it sounds, my ear, it reminds me of the songs nowadays where they kind of use a line or a section from a song and then just kind of, you know, play around with that sampling. But this, wow, this is what number album for them? This is the 6th studio album. Okay, so I guess they've been doing this for a while then? Radioactivity. Electronic and experimental pop. Whoops. Okay, the one before that was Kraftwerk and electronic. Autobahn came out. That was electronic pop. Electroacoustic. Kosmishi? I don't know, man. It's still electronic music, so it wasn't like this was something new then. Okay, so they've been doing this for a while. I don't know if this was like their first big song that got, like, you know, played or something like that. But I do find it interesting that Wikipedia article mentioned that they didn't really have much of a culture after the war, so they kind of made their own and just ran with the old stuff, you know. Because that's very interesting to me, because I've always wondered why Germany had such a strong electronic, you know, what's the word? Not even fanaticism. More like there's a ton of electronic music from Germany and tons of fans of that genre there. It's kind of like not a meme, but it's the stereotype, that yeah, and they're just listening to like, electronic music. I didn't know. I'm guessing that's because of this band. I could be wrong though. I don't know. But I have seen that stereotype before of the German person who's totally into like EDM, electronic music and stuff like that, and they're ravers and stuff. I bet this is like a perfect rave song. I went to a couple when I was younger. I actually was into electronic music for a while there. The whole dubstep scene. I got to go to a few raves during that craze back in, the early 2010s. Rolling my ass off, you know what I mean? Just the orange Transformers, the Decepticons. I remember. Oh boy, do I remember. That was a fun night. I had to sneak in and everything because I wasn't even 18. I was like 15. I had to sneak in the back of a car with these girls, and it was a fun night, man. It definitely was. I miss doing stuff like that because it feels more like a communal experience, but it's also a singular experience because a lot of people are kind of like dancing on their own, or they're dancing with friends, So it's a singular experience at a communal event, which I think is very interesting. I think that's kind of a little bit different than a rock show, shall we say, because that's more of a communal gathering experience and everyone's in it together in a way. I feel like the other way, it's the opposite for electronic music. And that's not a bad thing. That's kind of cool that you can just go and be in your own little world and enjoy the music and like create it in your head, So I've been talking for way too long. Let me see what we got. Let me go back to Trans Europe Express, released in 1977 on King Klang Records. Okay, so the focused on sequenced rhythms, minimalism, and occasionally manipulated vocals. The themes include celebrations of the titular European railway service, Trans Europe Express, and Europe as a whole, and meditations on the disparities between reality and appearance. Now, ain't that about a bitch? And that's right up my alley right there, man. I didn't really get those vibes from this song, obviously, because they were just, saying Trans Europe Express, and maybe the rest of the album has these meditations they speak of. I would be interested in hearing said meditations, so if you guys have any other recommendations about this band you think I'd like, leave it down below, because I would definitely be interested in hearing more. All right, so who do we got? Damn, there's a lot on this album. Holy shit. It's been used in so much. Holy crap. All right, okay, personnel. Oh, God, it's German names. I apologize in advance. I'm so sorry. Ralph Hutter? On voice synthesizers, the Vaca Orchestron Synchronormal Synchronizer, the Synchronorma Sequencer, electronics, Florian Schneider, hey, that's not too bad, voice, vocoder, Votrack synthesizer, electronics, Karl Bartos on electronic and percussion, Wolfgang Fleur on electric percussion, and that's it. Peter Bolig was the engineer, and it won a bunch of awards. Oh, no, that's just the charts in Europe. So it was a big song in Europe. Because I noticed the electronic craze didn't really catch on until probably like the 90s in America, I'm guessing. I mean, they used it in music, obviously, all through the 80s. But the scene of electronic music that they have, that's still going to this day, to be honest. I think it started in the mid-90s, late 90s. There's a lot of culture around it, too, And it sounds like these guys were the first, kind of like, I guess, 10cc, even though that was different. They developed whole entire things for that song, I'm Not in Love. But I know that they messed around with it in disco, messed around with it in the 80s stuff. Lots of soul and funk music kind of played around with it. But that full-blown, just electronic like this music, it didn't really catch on to the mid-90s, I think. But I see why it caught on in Germany, man, especially if you don't have much. Then you hear something like this, especially back in 78 or something, you're like, the hell are these guys doing? I like it, though, So I totally get it. I would have been into this probably back in the day if it came out. But I don't know that for sure because I probably would have been a hippie. Thank you, William L. Yeah. Sorry, I gotta fucking stop. Oh man, them gummies are kicking in, I guess. Thank you, William. That was a great pick. There's really nothing I can, I guess, pick out as a standout. The whole track was a standout, to be honest. The beat, like I said, was very tight, very precise. If it's electronic percussion, that's why. But it was right on point. I think the vocals are cool. The way in that middle section where they were just messing with the dynamics and the whole soundscape, oh my god, that was almost chill-inducing. Like the things that they were doing with the sounds, man. And I could hear the minimalism as well. It was very simple, repeated beat over and over, same, vocal line, vocoder, there's a lot going on underneath the surface, but on top, it seemed pretty simple, But there's probably a ton of work that went into this. I can't imagine the work that went into something like this in the 70s. It's probably, nowadays you have a computer and you can boop, 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 boop. Got a song. Honestly, you have an AI, you can just type it in, they'll make you a song. Now, but back in the 70s trying to make something like this, I bet it was painstaking hours of just, I don't even want to think about it, bro. But listen to the end product, though. It's fantastic. So I'm not going to speak on this band anymore because I've only heard one song and I don't know anything else about them. So I'll leave it up to you guys to let me know down below what song I should do next. And if you like that, let me know why. And if you didn't, let me know. Right down there. I want to know. All right, bye. One more thing. There's a really cool Patreon community we have. They get to pick most of the videos. I get to pick some of them, but they pick most of them. If you join the $15 tier or up, you get one free request a month. There's other tiers if you want to do more than one request, blah, 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 blah. There's also a PayPal in the description if you want to send a tip or a request in that way. See you later.